What up, everybody? This is Shannon Clemens coming to you. Some call me the nomadic author, others call me mental. Why? Because I like to think a lot. And the reason why I like to think a lot is because I get to mull over a lot of different things, you know what I'm saying, while everybody just talking out the side of their necks. And I'm gonna let you know right now. I see people I see new people starting to make videos about cryptocurrency. I made a video a long time ago about the cryptocurrency. I told you back then the same thing I'm gonna tell you today. A lot of people, I sit there and watch these analysts go over these videos talking about, not go over these videos, but go over these cryptocurrencies, and they talking about what made this move, what made this one move, or what Dogecoin to drop, this one, and it made up. Oh, now the latest thing is Ethereum. What made it move and outperform everybody? Dude, I told you from the beginning, Bitcoin. When Bitcoin moved, all the rest of them moved too. What more can I tell you? If Bitcoin dropped, all the rest of them dropped. The whole market showed it when it went up to 20 G's. You know what? It's a funny thing about when it went up to 20 G's. Because I remember how I had just started working at an auto shop. Yeah, I told you I'm a former mechanic. I'm not a diesel mechanic, but I'm a former mechanic. And I was telling my supervisor, I said, dude, have you ever heard of Bitcoin? He said, no, I ain't never heard of it. Oh, you ain't never heard of it? Man, let me give you a short story on it. And so I told him everything that happened, you know what I'm saying, from its inception and brought it away all the way up to when old boy bought his boss two pieces for, you know what I'm saying, for $50 or something like that, and he got over 10,000 bitcoins, and they shit skyrocketed to and made him a multi-millionaire. I told him all of that stuff. At the time when I was telling my boss what it was worth, it was only worth about $150, maybe $175. I tell you, hey, trust me, learn about it and get in on it right now while it's down. I should have did it myself, but at the same time, I was getting into it before, you know what I'm saying, because I was buying off of eBay. I was buying stuff off of eBay, and then I was having it shipped over to a website, and then I was changing it over. I did that and got a lot of different coins and like that, and sadly, 2 different websites went under with my money. Pissed me off, you know what I'm saying, because at the time Litecoin was only worth like five, maybe a nickel, probably about 10 cents. I had a bunch of that shit when it went, you know what I'm saying, when that company went under. Out of all that Litecoin I had bought, I turned around, because you know what I'm saying, because I was in that phase where I was just on my knuckles, you know what I'm saying, couldn't really keep up with the internet. And when I finally found out the company went under, the lawsuit I went through, I missed out on my chance to get in on it. Do you know I lost out on $3 million worth of motherfucking Litecoin? I was pissed. But what can I do? You know? I just lost out on that shit. You know what I'm saying? Then I had a little small Bitcoin. Then I had another one that was called like 42 coin. That's supposed to be worth like 42 Bitcoins. You know what I'm saying, and all this other stuff. And I had what was it, 10,000 bitcoins or something like that, 1,000 bitcoins. Each 42 coin was worth 1,000 bitcoins or 10,000 bitcoins, something like that. But you know, I knew then when I heard about that coin, only the super wealthy is going to have a full coin. You know what I'm saying, but it was very hard to mine that coin. I don't even see that coin no more. You know, so I think that's one of the coins that went under. You know, but I knew that only the super wealthy would actually have the full coin, and they was squeezing everybody out of that coin because they knew Bitcoin was going to be big time. And sure enough, it did become big time, but 42 coin is nowhere on the map right now. You know what I'm saying? So it just left that on there. You know what I'm saying? I had gold coin. I had all types. I had a bunch of Dogecoin too. Though I bought Dogecoin when it was like it's still a sub penny stock, but it was like four or five zeros before it, before the one. You know what I'm saying? So I bought it when it was very, very small. Now it's at 0.002. You got two zeros, and it's almost at that 1 penny mark. You know what I'm saying? I lost out hundreds of thousands of motherfucking Dogecoin. I lost out on that shit. All that shit just ticked on up. I lost out on some major money when Cripsy went up under. So I just look at that for what it is. But anyway, like I said, when Bitcoin move, all the rest of the coins move. If Bitcoin go up, the rest of the coins going up too. If Bitcoin drop, the rest of them coins dropping too. Why? Because Bitcoin is like the granddaddy of the whole thing, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, at first you could only cash out with Bitcoin. Then they started moving it over to Litecoin too, and then not all of a sudden they got Ethereum, and they just slowly but surely adding other coins to it. But the main one is Bitcoin. You know what I'm saying? Everybody talk about this Ripple. Everybody talk about this Ethereum. Ethereum went from $1,500 to what? Almost nothing. When Bitcoin dropped from 20 G's all the way back down to it's currently at 3,800. But just a few minutes ago, I checked because I know that Bitcoin had dropped down to about $3,100, 3,100 bucks, and it jumped up 700. It's at 3,800 right now. That's 700 bucks that you would have made off of that every Bitcoin that you got. Then you know what I'm saying, if you bought it at 3,100. So they wondering. I see these newscasts and all this other stuff in these headlines talking about what made Ethereum move the way it did. Well, Bitcoin just jumped up to $700 fucking dollars. What you expect? That's why Ethereum moved. And it's somebody outperformed everybody else. No, it didn't. Trust me, no, it didn't. You know what I'm saying? So I look at all these analysts talk about all these other different types of coins. If you want to make money, I'm going to tell you, the 3 original coins that was talked about was Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Dogecoin. Those were the 3 major markets back in the day. To this very day, Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Dogecoin still exist. But now you don't hear about Dogecoin. You really don't hear about Ethereum, but you're hearing about Ripple. You're hearing about Cardano. You're hearing about what's Ethereum. You're hearing about some of these other ones. Litecoin is very cheap right now. It's not at the 10 cent where I bought into it years ago, but it's probably at the $50 to $100 mark. I'm gonna look it up. Don't quote me on that one. Another one to buy into is Dogecoin. Get it while it's still a sub penny stock. See, people don't understand that Bitcoin itself used to be a sub penny stock. It was below a penny. That's what sub penny mean. Now look at it. Everybody going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, or in other words, going crazy over Bitcoin. Why? Because it's the major money maker. If you can afford it, buy you a Bitcoin or two. Even if you just buy fractions of it. I know you can afford it. Get Litecoin. Litecoin is basically on the same technology that Bitcoin is, and so is Dogecoin. Where they started screwing up is when they started trying to mess with the algorithms and all the other stuff and changing things. Matter of fact, I think Litecoin might be on a different algorithm, slightly different, but it's almost the same. But I'm telling you, those were the 3 major beginners: Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Dogecoin. Had you bought into Dogecoin when it was when it had all them zeros in front of it, and all it did was just tick on up, and you own it to this very day, you made a lot of goddamn money. And then when it ticks all the way up to a penny, you making a lot more. Because I found out Dogecoin actually moved up to like actually made the penny mark. It actually moved up to about almost 4 cents. How much money would you have made if you had 100,000 of them some bitches? I'm just saying. So buy into Dogecoin while it's still small. I mean micro. I'm not saying sink a whole fortune into it, but why not grab about 10,000 of them some bitches? 100,000. How much is it really gonna cost you? At a penny, 10,000 of them would be what, $10? Come on now, you know what I'm saying? 100,000 is about $100. You can make that regular $10. You know what I'm saying? You can make $10 per grass that you rake leaves for $10. You know what I'm saying? That's 10 houses that you rake. You make $100, and you go buy you some fucking Dogecoin. What the fuck, man? Shovel some snow, cut grass. What the hell? I'm just saying.